Let's talk about the big mistakes. Have we move past them? Have we make things awesome? All right, getting ready for it. Here we go. And welcome to another Get Events Online Livestream. Hey, don't you hate it when things don't work? You're all good to go. You've got everything sorted out and it fails. Sometimes it's technology, sometimes it's process. Well, today I just wanted to talk about what are some of the fun things, because they are funny, let's be honest, and some of the not so funny things, but some of the problems or mistakes or hiccups that happen during an online or a hybrid event, and what you can do to move past it. Because sometimes if you get stuck and you can't move forward, there's a whole lot of damage. Hey, I'm Warwick Merry. You saw the little hoo-ha before, a triple certified presenter, both virtual and face-to-face. I'm all passionate about online events and hybrid events. I wanted to talk to you about it. So there's a whole lot of very simple things that have been happening that have caused drama for so many people. All you got to do is search for Zoom memes on stuff that's gone wrong. So I'd love to hear from you. If you're joining me from Facebook, first thing you've got to do is make sure you visit that link, and so you can do your magic, and then hit the chat on Facebook and let me know what are some of the things that you've had go wrong or you've seen go wrong for any of your events or any of the things that have happened when you've been participating in an event. I think some of the classic ones are the very, very simple ones. I love the manager who was a potato and was stuck in her meeting as a potato. For those of you who don't know what it looks like this. Can you imagine trying to do all your amazing stuff and being stuck as the potato? And can you imagine the panic that of running around? There was the lawyer who was a cat and who was talking to the judge and saying, I am prepared to proceed. So, getting stuck in that was a Snapchat filter. There's other filters out there. And the problem sometimes is you share a computer with someone else and they've twiddled with your settings. It can be as simple as cameras aren't connected. I know for me, one of the biggest problems I had is I was facilitating a 2-day event. And I'm typing away and I'm just watching everything happen. We had I think it was about 70 people on the session, and they were in breakout rooms. And all of a sudden, my keyboard was not responsive. And I couldn't work out what it was. And I'm pulling my hair out. Luckily, I've got a spare keyboard, so I'm running around trying to plug the spare keyboard back in. The countdown for the breakout rooms had ended, but I hadn't pulled them back yet because I couldn't click the key on the keyboard. Turns out that my keyboard went through a hub, and the hub had disconnected at the back. And so it's simple, plug it in, and it was good. But for about 3 minutes, and it felt like half an hour, I was panicking. And it's just messy. So technology is so important, particularly if you're running out of a home studio or your home office and you've got just more than a laptop with a camera. So, for example, for me, I've got a vision switcher and a camera, which then feeds into the computer. And for me to get this effect, the potato effect, which is using my Snapcam. I love Snapcam, not as much as I love the Viking one, though. Do love the Viking one. For me to get that to work properly, I have to make sure I reboot the computer, start the Snapcam, then start my OBS, then start Zoom or whatever streaming function or service I'm using, there's a specific order. If I don't do it that way, it will not work. And I have to reboot every time to make the snap cam work. So it is about understanding what are the processes? What are the processes that you've got? And sometimes if I've planned to use one of the funny cameras and I haven't set it up properly and it's not working, I just abandon it. I don't let my plan get in the road of what's happening. And I think you'll find that with many great presenters is that they'll have a plan, but then sometimes on the spur of the moment, they'll change the plan. But the plan gives them a place to come back to. It's that concrete. The challenge is when you're online, sometimes you get very excited and carried away. You can step away from the plan, but never step away from the timing. That's one of my biggest issues as a host for an event is the timing and trying to get the timing sorted and running correctly. Because with your live, you can put up a sign saying 5 minutes or off soon, or you can wave your hand or something. When you're digital, you cannot do any of that. You actually have to interrupt. So getting the timing right is really, really important. I was talking to a friend yesterday about one of the things I did. I have to give you a trigger warning here. Stories of partial nudity are about to happen. So I do my live stream every week, right? And a little while ago, I slept in, so I'm quickly having a shower, getting ready to do my live stream. So I thought, I'll run my 2-minute video intro and then I'll put my clothes on and I'll be fine. So I'm sitting here with just my underpants on and I'm setting everything up. And yes, I can see my hairy, white, pasty body in the screen, which is not ideal, but it wasn't going live. Also, I thought, because what happened is my Stream Deck was playing up. So I hit the camera so that it was showing just my 2-minute video. And all of a sudden it just jumped to me on main camera. And I've just pressed stop, put clothes on, come back, press start again, and away we went. And I thought I'd better check afterwards and have a look at what happened on the stream. And there it was in all its glory. Me for about, might have been a second or two in pasty, hairy, white body that no one needs to see. And so all I did was go around and delete those files everywhere because about 30 people had seen it across the different platforms. But all I did was just keep going. And I think that's the process of just keep going. There's a large hybrid event that I was running. Actually, no, it was a large online event I was running for someone. I was in their studios where they got the super mega expensive streaming gear and everything. And then halfway through the stream, the server just decided it was time to update itself and boom, rebooted. And we just lost. It just went dark. Now, thankfully, the chat and everything was still going. So I was able to jump on the chat, find out what they were talking about when I came back. And it only took a couple of minutes to reboot. We were able to just make a few jokes about it and continue on. I think everyone has a lot of empathy for technology not doing what it needs to do. So it is looking about how do we make that work. Another colleague of mine was talking about sometimes what you'll do is you'll get a lag or the video is running really slow, but the audio's okay or vice versa. Often the best thing to do there is realize there's an issue and just say, tell you what, I'm going to make someone else the host or have someone else in charge of the system. I'm going to jump off this, reboot my computer and come back. I've got to tell you as a presenter, it's embarrassing to have to do that. But it's far less embarrassing than having to run through the whole session with a massive lag that's quite off-putting. So to actually just jump off, reboot, and knowing full well it may not fix what's going on, but it's more likely to set things back on their right course. The key thing is, you can take all these actions to remedy the problem. It's the mindset you've got to keep straight. At the end of the day, you've just got to let it go. And I've heard this about great sports people, like tennis players, etc. They'll interview them after match, and they'll make a colossal mistake on court. But then after they've made that mistake, you can't linger at it. Because if you linger at it and focus on the mistake, you're going to attract more of that kind of stuff. Or your head's not in the game. So you have to be able to go, something's happened, we've fixed it, we're moving on, or we haven't fixed it, but we're moving on anyway. And I think that's really important with your events. When the issues happen, because it's not an if, it's a when. When something happens, you've got to slap a fix in. The number of events where the speaker forgot the time that they were supposed to be speaking, we had to shuffle them around. And I've been known to get on and give a keynote with 15 minutes notice about something relevant for the session. You have to just let that go and go, well, we've got a solution, we're moving forward. And that's what you just need to be able to do. Not easy, especially because, often you've put a lot into getting there and it's not the image you want to reflect, or it's not how it was supposed to be. But I think it was John Lennon who said, life is what happens while you're busy making other plans. And in the event industry, this is so true. Most of the event profs that I know are so flexible and can deal with anything, and afterwards go, oh my, did you see that happen there? So 3 cheers for you for doing what's going on. All right. The key lesson is just keep going. Focus on the positives, focus on what you need to do next, and try and let go of whatever those mistakes happen. Love to hear any of your mistakes. If you're watching the recording, throw in the comments some of the weird and wonderful things that you've seen happen. And it could be dressed as a potato. I don't know. There's some fabulous stuff out there. All right, crew. Hey, thanks for being here. Look forward to your company next time. And don't forget that if you want to get a little bit better at your online presenting, head over here to onlinepresenterpro.com/get7keys. And you'll get straight away, you'll get the 7 keys video on 7 keys to being a better online presenter. Thanks for being here. I'll see you again next Thursday, 9 a.m. Look forward to your company. See ya.